was always interested in why some kids love challenges and were able to struggle through their failures, whereas other kids, just as able, just as skilled, hated difficult things and fell apart when they failed.
Nice job. Amy?
Maybe in part because I had a little bit of a fixed mindset myself. My 6th grade teacher seated us around the classroom in order of IQ. The whole goal of your life becomes never making a mistake, never looking dumb, always looking smart. How could you ever become the person you want to be? Never making a mistake. But it inspired my work.
What do you think?
Later on in the year, it might be easier, but when you first do it, it might be hard.
How Carol then developed that into the idea that there are 2 basic kinds of theories that people have about the nature of intelligence. You can think of intelligence as something that's fixed, that you either have or that you don't have, or you can think about intelligence as something that can grow and develop like a muscle.
Some students believe their basic talents, abilities, their intelligence are just fixed traits. You have a certain amount and that's it. But other students think, no, my abilities, my talents, my intelligence can be developed throughout my life.
There were kids today that broke something partway through, and so oh dear, your life has ended. Well, no, they said, no, we're just going to fix that and move on. So we talked about how they fixed it. We've started studying force and motion and Newton's laws, and I wanted them to have a hands-on experience where they could, with very minimal direction, build something. They enjoy these challenges where I just give them that minimal direction and they say, go for it, have at. They love it. They never give up.
Our education system and our parenting has to wake up to the fact that it's not a world in which children can succeed forever taking tests and getting high grades. It's a world where they're going to have to take on challenges, maybe retrain for many new careers. They need a growth mindset in this world more than they need to succeed on every single little test.
The problem with that we discovered was if you're just measuring in one certain way or measuring a set of knowledge that has nothing to do with who we want our students to become ultimately, that we were running into this idea that we are a failing school.
Thank you so much for quieting down. So, partner 2, your first number is 135, your second number is 137.
So growth mindset allowed us to really broaden how we were thinking about the skills students were acquiring in our school, and then say back to the Department of Education, yes, we want strong readers, writers, mathematicians, but as we do that, we also want people with strong identity and strong cultural knowledge as well.
We didn't want to treat the kid, we wanted to treat the school. We wanted our children to see was that if they kept persisting, right, and kept focusing on it, they could learn. We wanted our children to know that their brain was just like anyone else's brain, that it was a muscle that could grow with effort. What we know here, both in the country and in the state of Washington, is that there hadn't been changes on average in test scores over 40 years. And what we were seeing in our kids is growth at a rate of 1 to 2 years per half school year.
With mindsets expanding outside of the realm of just developmental psychology into different domains, we see making mistakes is okay and is inherent to all good processes. So we see this in the realm of politics, the realm of healthcare, where we're understanding specific mindsets that are domains that are relevant to different domains. So in healthcare, we understand the mindsets of the patients, the physicians. In the realm of politics, understanding the mindsets of those who lead us and how they go about thinking about the decisions that they make, and the decisions impact all of our lives.
Carol has done work, for example, in the Middle East peace process, showing that giving Israelis and Palestinians the representation that groups can change helped to motivate people to be more willing to compromise for peace. Just the simple idea that groups themselves are not fixed, but that they can change and that they can develop and they can be responsive, not talking at all about the specific context of the Middle East peace conflict, but that idea in general helped motivate people to be more willing to change. One of the powerful ideas in Carol's work is that it's never too late to do that. You might have not studied calculus in high school, you might have not studied Italian in college, and you're 40 years old, or you're 50 years old, or you're 60 years old. There's nothing to stop you from going and doing that now.
Being Carol's mentee is a really interesting experience. On one hand, she's an academic celebrity. She's extremely famous. She travels around the world all the time. And on the other hand, she is extremely detail-oriented and puts a lot of attention to the work that we have together. So if she has to go over a paper that we're writing together, she will look at every detail and give her thoughts. So in some ways, it's almost remarkable that she's able to do this between speaking to the UN and the Prime Minister of England to write on my stupid paper.
It's harder to feel joyful if you're not helping students develop and seeing people blossom before your eyes.
One of the things that Carol's done so beautifully is to be able to translate her theories, to translate the science into practice that's doable, that practice that people can follow and can follow pretty directly, and has shown that it has really important real-world consequences.
So the idea that I could use science to understand how children learn, I wanted to be a scientist. The Yidan Prize is critical for at least 2 of our major projects. In one project, we did a study of 18,000 students entering high school across the US, a nationally representative sample. Another project done here in Seattle comes from the recognition that educators need help, more help than we understood, to implement growth mindset principles, to create growth mindset cultures in their classroom. The Yidan Prize will allow this project to not only finish creating the curriculum, but to put it in the form of computer modules that can be disseminated widely.